Good afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for being here for this media interaction. As is usual, we will begin this event by asking the Honorable Ministers to make their opening remarks. I now request the External Affairs Minister of India to make his opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Paulo de Sacadura Cabral Portas, Your Excellency Minister State for Culture, Mr. Jorge Barreto Xavier, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome His Excellency, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, on his first official visit to India. Foreign Minister Portas and I have had very cordial discussions already, and we will continue over lunch. They were best described as comprehensive, fruitful, and friendly. India's relations with Portugal are warm, friendly, and have grown over the years. Periodic high-level visits between our two countries have given a boost to our bilateral relations. India and Portugal have cooperated closely in all multilateral fora on a range of global issues, and we expect to be continuing along that path of cooperation. Our linkages, as you are aware, date back to many centuries. We share commonalities in history, culture. Portugal is the home to the third largest population of persons of Indian origin in Europe, and that's 70,000. The Indian community has been contributing to furthering our cultural ties, forming a unique and a positive bond between our two countries. We've discussed further ways of strengthening the people-to-people contacts that already exist in a wholesome manner, and we noted that this afternoon there will be signing of a social security agreement between our two countries, and that, of course, will be a major step forward. The conduct of the third Youthophonia Games in Goa towards the end of the year will, we expect and hope, enhance the engagement of sports persons from India and the 11 other countries who will participate in the Games. And His Excellency was good enough to tell me that there will be later during the visit to Goa, signing of agreements for sports cooperation between Portugal and India. So we can expect to see some good football emerging. Both India and Portugal are resolutely opposed to terrorism. We share common views on this global menace. We've reiterated our commitment to continue our cooperation, close cooperation in the fight against terrorism across the globe. I have conveyed my deep appreciation on behalf of the Government of India for the very positive support extended by Portugal on the extradition of Abu Salem, who was wanted in connection with criminal cases dating back to the Mumbai blast in 1993. This was indeed a very, very special gesture, and we appreciate it. We express satisfaction at the fact that bilateral trade in 2012 has been resorted to pre-global economic crisis levels of 2008 and 9. But of course, His Excellency will tell you, we still have a long way to go, and we need to energize in every possible way. We also acknowledge that our bilateral trade has considerable potential for growth, and the partnership is currently far below the potential. We noted with satisfaction that many companies from India and Portugal are already active in bilateral business partnerships in both countries. Indian IT companies have already set up operations in Portugal, and there are greater prospects for diversification of investment to other sectors, and this is true on both sides. We've also discussed the economic situation in Europe. We have expressed the confidence that Europe, which is one of our India's largest trade partners, will return to a positive growth path. And we have said very, very categorically that we deeply appreciate the remarkable work that's being done in Portugal to bring the country out of the financial difficulties that it had faced only a couple of years ago. The presence of His Excellency, the Minister of State for Culture, with us today offered an opportunity to review the ongoing bilateral cultural ties, enormously important. Austria, and wish them a very pleasant stay in India. And thank you. Thank you, my dear and honorable colleague. Good morning, India. I want, first of all, to underline that India is a very ancient civilization. It's a remarkable culture, and it's also a very impressive transformation, example of transformation and reform. India is one of the most well-prepared economies in the 21st century and is building a very strong middle class. And I must congratulate India for the modern success of its economy. I also want to underline the very old links between our two countries and our two nations. But we can't just look at the past. Our past is very good, but we have the duty to build a future that honors this past. And I invited my colleague to visit Portugal, and we propose to our India counterpart to boost and energize our bilateral committees to improve our economic and business relation. Our cultural relation is very good, our political common views are known, and economically we can do much better. And if you see the figures from 2012, the trade between India and Portugal, if you add imports from India, exports from Portugal, is more or less 500 million euro, which is it's a modest figure, and we can do much, much better, and will do it. I'm very happy because the business Portuguese delegation is having very good business-to-business contacts with the right counterparts from India. There are good partnerships, and I think there are good contracts being negotiated. I also want to underline that Portugal and India, exactly because we share common values about peace and safe international world, we have a very good record supporting each other in international institutions. Portugal voted for India in the Human Rights Council, and India gave us support to the Portuguese candidature to the Human Rights Council, which is our next international goal after being in the Security Council, namely working very closely with India. In the field of the bilateral agreements, not only will sign the Social Security Convention, but I think we improved the negotiations between the two countries in the memorandum of understanding in tourism that we are preparing. We can have much more tourists from India to Portugal and from Portugal to India. Also, to increase our avoiding double taxation cooperation, and to protect investments of both countries. So we have a lot of fields of economic and tax and social cooperation. We also discussed some of the cultural items of our dialogue. As you know, India is one of the major international players of the 21st century, and the Portuguese language is one of the global languages with an increase of number of Portuguese-speaking countries and nations, which is remarkable. The Portuguese will be very global, and languages are also very relevant in the international competition. I finally would give a word about Portugal is very in favor of, during the last years, we were very in favor in the negotiations of an agreement between the European Union and India. We have a lot of links, and Europe and India must play an international role to a safer world, which is very relevant. And a good trade agreement between the two parts, India and Europe, would be good for both economies. I particularly, I'm waiting to have in India the Portuguese very, very, very good wine and olive oil. You should prove it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The two ministers have agreed to respond to one question each from the Portuguese and the Indian media. The first question is from Ms. Anna Martinez, RTP.
This question is for the external minister of India. I would like to know what can Portuguese expect from the investment, India investment, public maybe, Indian investment in the future. What can we Portuguese expect from India? Have you interested in in Portuguese the way, for example, we found in China?
Thank you very much. I think that's a very important question. China and India are neighbors, and we are conscious of their strengths. We are also quite clear in our mind that we have specific strengths of our own, and there will be, for the world, a menu to choose from. Not everybody eats the same food. There's a menu to choose from. You'll have an Indian-style offering, and you'll have an offering from any other country. We consider Portugal extremely important, and as you can see, we have such an important historical link between our two countries. But I agree with the Honorable Minister that we need to energize some of our institutions so that we can focus more directly on the opportunities that Portugal offers. And now that Portugal has come out of the difficult financial period, we think that this is the time, this is the takeoff time in which we should get there. And your huge business group that is here, they will be interacting on various fronts. I think many things are already in the pipeline. It will be our intent to push as hard as we can and to give the special energy that's required to make sure that Portugal becomes a very important business and an investment partner for India. And I think that we have in place our BIPA, which needs to be updated. We will try and work along the more acceptable plan that has been suggested so that we keep within the contours of the European requirements. We will also move faster on the double taxation treaty. Plus, there are a lot of other things that are in the pipeline. And I think there are areas that we've identified and we will continue to identify in which we can cooperate. I see that sports management, health welfare management, the area of food management, etc., hospitality, and then infrastructure. These are areas in which we certainly will persuade our business to take Portugal on a higher priority. And I promised the minister when I go to Latin America, I will take the Lisbon route rather than any other route.
Thank you. Just to underline, if I may, just to underline with, trust is very relevant to investment. 2 years ago, we had a problem with too much deficit and too much debt. We realized huge efforts to
reform our economy and to solve our problem. And those efforts were done with immense dignity by our nation. And now we can expect a very favorable perception about Portugal in the international community. And I always say that now is the moment to look Portugal, to pay attention to Portugal. Thank you.
Last question, Mr. Amrit Pal, Doordarshan.
My question is to the Portuguese Foreign Minister. Sir, what exactly did you raise regarding Abu Salim and what did the Indian side tell you?
Can you repeat your question? Excuse me. More slowly, please.
What exactly did you raise regarding Abu Salim's case in India?
Abu Salam case, okay. No. I consider the informations that we received from the institutional, political and judiciary system of India reasonable to the questions we have already put to the Indian counterparts. So I think dialogue is okay.
Well, absolutely, I agree. I think the judiciary in Portugal had raised some issues. The judiciary here in our country will take care of them. We already have petitions in the Supreme Court, and we would like, obviously, to remain compliant with the expectations of the entire Portuguese system, including the judiciary. And I reassured the minister, and I think there is no difficulty. I would once again re-emphasize and repeat the gratitude we owe to the consideration shown by the Portuguese government in the extradition. I think this augurs well for our relationship, wholesome and meaningful. And I think this is a good example for other countries to follow in cooperation to be given in countering terrorism.
Thank you very much.
Just to add, my dear and honorable colleague, fighting terrorism is a very relevant common purpose of international community. Terrorism is an international cancer. It's a threat to peace and security. Obviously, the accomplishment of constitutional duties and rules of our judiciary system is relevant, and we have a very good dialogue on that matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, we come to the end of this interaction.